Connecting with Dave Lester Payne, and The Evolution Drive Time, every Monday to Thursday, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Observer Radio 91.1 FM.
This is Observer Radio.
Stay locked to Connecting with Dave Lester Payne, right here on Observer Radio 91.1 FM.
Thank you for staying with us. One of our cultural icon, Patricia Tully, is with us today, author and a double book release. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm blessed, and I'm blessing you for asking.
Oh, my goodness. And that's double blessing I'm getting today.
Yeah.
Who is this gorgeous lady that I'm looking at here?
Oh, that's my mama.
That's your mama?
Yeah.
Okay. Veronica Elizabeth Adams Tully.
That's right.
Why that? They just give us anyway. Leave it alone. So much long, a bunch of names they give us. Anyway, it's better than the other names. And this is Pioneers of the Caribbean.
Yes.
And this is the book that we will be speaking about, among other things.
Yes.
Again, congratulations. Many people would have endeavored to write a book, but never got to the point where they actually have the physical book in their hand. Tell us the
Thank
journey and what would have motivated you to get into this.
Just basically the type of person my mother is, and the experiences I know that she had, and the sacrifices she made as a parent. And that alone just motivated me, that her story needs to be told.
So this is your mother's story that we have in the book?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And the other author in the book is Ingrid?
Ingrid Lambie, and it's her mother's story also.
Where is she from?
Jamaica.
Okay, so we have a Jamaican and Antiguan combination.
Yes.
A memoir of two mothers' journey to emigrate their families to Canada for better opportunities as seen through the eyes of their daughters, Ingrid and Patricia. That's you, right?
Yes.
Okay. So tell us the story. Tell us. Again, so we reached to the point, were you in how long ago you started to work on this book?
About 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it took about 7 months to actually have it published.
Okay. What was some of the things that you, of course, because obviously, Lady Ingrid was in Jamaica.
No, she's in Canada.
She's in Canada.
Yes.
Okay, so how did you guys combine? How did this synergy came about?
Okay, we're friends. We met, I would say, about 40 years ago, maybe a little bit over 40 years ago, and we became friends. And actually, I've met her mom, and her mom has met my mom, actually. And
in Canada?
In Canada, yes, yes. And, you know, as I said, we've always been friends. And then about two and a half years ago or so, she said to me she would like to write a book. And I says, well, I'm intending to do that. You know, I have started and got to maybe 1 or 2 pages and stopped. But that's been my intention also. And that's how we got together and decided, well, let's get it done, because the story has to be told.
So now that the story is told, it's in pages, the general public, how can they access the book?
It can be had at Amazon, iTunes. It's also right here in Antigua at Best of Books. And coming on stream
Barbara have
soon.
everything.
Yes. Coming on stream soon will be the Methodist bookstore also.
Pioneers of the Caribbean.
Yes.
Why the title?
Because they were pioneers back then when they first got to Canada. Like my mom and my older brother. And always being the only black in everything. Not seeing anybody that looked like you for months and months. And so on. So that made them pioneers.
The essence of the story of the book, though, as we're trying to capture the imagination of the folks who are listening and viewing this afternoon, why they should get the book.
Because it's the journey. It's not the destination. It's the journey that they went through. And as you're reading the book, you're journeying along with them, and you're remembering your journey. You're thinking of your family members, because we all have someone overseas. And someone had to be the first who journeyed out to help the rest of us at some point in time. And so it gives you an understanding of their journey and what they might have gone through to make life better for you and your family also.
And I guess through the book, there's many of us in the Caribbean can reflect on our family and parents who would have made such journey to other parts of the world.
That's right. Yes.
So the satisfaction that you get from now, the photos that's on the book, and I'm holding it up so the general public, that's your mom and her mom.
Yes.
The images of them.
Yes.
And I'm going to flip it around so they can see the images of the authors now. And there goes Ingrid, and there goes Tully.
Yes.
You know, that's, I just want to make sure so they get an image of what's happening. What the book itself, and I must let you know, man, look at these dresses. Kind of true. I want to see what they were wearing in those times. They still, yeah, those are the dresses that you girls are wearing, right?
When you were kids, yeah.
You know, and you know what? When I opened the book and what I saw that came back at me, two black ladies holding a white doll.
Yeah. Back in the day, that's how it was.
Well, I'm telling you,
it wasn't until I was a teenager that I saw black dolls.
No, I went through it, and I must confess, I mean, but wait a minute, who bigger than who here? Okay, oh, it's his sister, older sister Charmaine, and so on and this. But what I saw was the dolls, and I said, look at this, you know. And are these photos in Canada or here in Antigua?
No, those are in Jamaica. That's my co-author's story. That's
I know,
her and her sibling in Jamaica.
You didn't have much photograph in the book.
Yes, I do. There's a lot of photograph at the back.
Oh, at the back. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, yeah. We got that. So we want folks to be able to go on out and purchase this book today. And if you can, remind them again. And let's congratulate, of course, Ingrid and, of course, Patricia, Tully. You know, we see this is a lady that's part of our cultural environment here in Antigua and Barbuda. And it's always good when we can really speak about them in a positive tone and continue to do things that enhance the lives of our people and give them just a story behind living and life itself. Now, you grew up in Antigua.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Until I was a young teenager.
Well, I'm trying to get you
and
a
then
story.
and then I migrated to Canada, of course, because my mom was already there, right? And then, of course, I returned back home. That's why I am here now.
Yeah, but the growing up in Antigua and Barbuda, because the book chronicles some of those things.
Most definitely.
Okay, so growing up in Antigua.
Going to Miss Goodwin School, which is Faith and Hope High School. Back in the day, we went to school all day. You went to school in the morning, you came home at lunch, and then you went back, and then you came back home. Then after school, if you have extracurricular activities, you know, typing, music, whatever those things are,
Everybody
then you'd
was
go
into
to them.
typing those days.
Yeah, I used to go to Miss Goodwin for typing.
Everybody was
Up
into typing.
in Gamble's area up there.
And I can remember when the guys were typing, boy, I wish I had followed suit. So we used to say, well, they're typing as the girls supposed to type. No, I'm serious. I mean, the ignorance.
That's true.
I mean, the ignorance that we were taught at that time or perceived to be.
Yes.
As far as, you know, but there's a few guys who were really out there typing, you know, and you think of all these things. When you got to Canada, what was it like? What was the transformation like for you, leaving Antigua?
Culture shock, because I'm accustomed to one way of life, and then it's a different way there, besides the bitter cold and the snow and stuff like that. Going to school, because as I got there, I was in school before you knew it. And I remember the first snow. I went outside, and it was fun to see snow for the first time, and that was okay. Then I went to sleep, and a lot of it came. And then the next morning, my mother was waking me up to tell me I have to go to school. I say, me, mommy? She says, yes. I say, the stuff is white out there. How am I going to school? Because back home in Antigua, when it rains heavy, you stay home. You don't even go back to school. And here is all this
If
white
it rains
stuff.
heavy.
Yeah, here's all this white stuff. And she's telling me, I got to go to school, so I had to get up.
And you did.
Yeah.
We got to take a commercial break.
Join the growing number of companies exporting to Europe's 500 million consumers using the CARIFORUM EU Economic Partnership Agreement. The Caribbean Export Development Agency and the European Union have already supported over 6,000 businesses, creating more jobs for you and me. Now that's cooperation that counts. Export and grow with the CARIFORUM EU EPA. Visit our website at carib-export.com.
Can you fix my laptop? Yes, we can. OMG. Yes, we can. My phone broke. Yes, we can. And my TV. Yes, we can. Need a website. Yes, we can. Networking. Yes, we can. Just call us. Yes, we can. Whenever you need.
At Digicom, yes, we can. Your ultimate IT solution for computer and mobile repairs, networking, surveillance systems, software and app design, IT support, and more. Digicom, located at number 4 Lingees Complex Utility Drive. We're open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Call our office today, 773-3444. Digicom, IT simplified.
No matter where we may roam, Antigua and Barbuda is still home. Tune in every last Thursday of the month to Antigua and Barbuda Associations United show. We're highlighting the countdown to Antigua and Barbuda's 40th anniversary of independence throughout the diaspora. Join us from 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. on Observer Radio 91.1 FM.
This is Observer Radio.
Stay locked to Connecting with Dave Lester Payne, right here on Observer Radio 91.1 FM.
And now that we are reflecting, and Tully's mom, I'm going to talk a little bit about her. Patricia Tully, co-author and daughter of Veronica Tully, was the executive housekeeper and trainer for the major hotels in the Caribbean, which include Sandals Resorts. Travels for training include the island of Jamaica, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Turks and Caicos, and of course as a certified hospitality educator. She continues to train and mentor employees in the hotel industry here in Antigua. That's a little snippet about this young lady. But then again, you were also, I'm scanning through this, as you got other disciplines. Patricia performed for Black Theatre Canada, also co-founder of Cohen Alley Performing Arts Group Workshop and production here in Antigua and Barbuda. Patricia also worked as a radio announcer in the 1980s on Destiny Ching Radio in Toronto as a host. Okay, so I can walk out here and leave you to do everything else by yourself. Then, I can get
No, but don't do that.
But tell me about Sandals, though. Tell me about Sandals, your experience at Sandals.
Yes, I was.
What prepared you in Canada for such things?
Okay, in Canada, I worked at 2 major hotels there. One was the Prince Hotel as an assistant to the executive housekeeper. It's a 500-room hotel. So that would have prepared me. And prior to that, I went to college and, got my degrees and so on in hotel and hospitality, restaurant management, etc. So that prepared me for Sandals Antigua. And I chose the rooms division area. So I was an executive housekeeper there.
Okay. What was it like then when Sandals opened the first time in Antigua?
Oh, it was wonderful. Yes. It was good, hiring staff, training people, lots of guests. We were always full, always overbooked. Had to send some of our guests next door to Halcyon and other hotels and then bring them back when we had room. And it was great. I worked with your sister. Your sister worked at Sandals back in the day.
Gail.
Yeah.
She's now
And
in
Darren
Atlanta.
Reese and Veronica Carlos, all of us.
Yeah, worked down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was in Antigua and Barbuda, though? Did you ever meet the late Butch Stewart?
Of course.
I would not know. I can't assume you did.
Most definitely. And
What was he like,
Jamaica and
though?
so on. He's a nice man. Yeah, but yeah, he's a nice man. And all the shirts he wear was always stripes. So I would always make sure his room was perfect, take his laundry to the room, etc.
Okay.
He was a nice man.
So here you went to Jamaica for training.
I went to Jamaica many times and worked in the different hotels there, training and so on. Yes. And St. Lucia. We have two properties in St. Lucia and in Turks and Caicos.
You were
about 6 months or something.
The hurricane did some damage to the.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah. 1995. It really damaged Sandals. We had to close for about 3 months and rebuild the place. And Mr. Stewart, such a wonderful man. He paid us 75% of our wages while we were home, and the hotel was being rebuilt. So we had a second opening after rebuilding the hotel. And of course, since then they've, added additional rooms, etc.
So now that you chose it, of course, you have some time in your hands. I'm going to write about my mom and with my friend. You guys got together and come up with this book, Pioneers of the Caribbean, Lessons Learned from Your Mom.
Many lessons. She was a lady of strong faith, an entrepreneur. She loves to bake. She was a seamstress. She loved to design clothes. Back in the day, she made wedding gowns and the entire bridal outfits back in Antigua before she even traveled and so on. And she made lots of nice clothes for herself and, us as kids and so on.
So she did the same thing when she got to Canada?
Yeah, but she did working as a domestic for many years. And she loves to make cakes. She made cushions. And she was an entrepreneur. And all these things she did. She had her customers for her black cake, she made good bread pudding. She made it 2 different ways, and it was always good.
Any recipe in the book?
Actually, there is a recipe about the black cake, but not the bread pudding.
Okay, good.
But she used to do that too and sell the bread pudding and the cushions and hats. She did millinery. She loves hats, and she goes to church on Sunday. She's got to have matching hats and gloves and shoes and purse, and she always loves scarf, with a scarf with her purse or around her neck and so on. Yes.
The fact is, you were telling me when you got up there and going to school, of course, because of the snowstorm and so on, you worked through that path. You got through that. What are some of the other things that your mom would have instilled in you while you were in Canada?
To always have faith. When it came on Sundays, I like to party. And as a teenager, of course, I like to go out. So I would always be out on the Friday nights and the Saturday nights. Come Sunday morning, I have to wake up to go to church.
Yeah,
my mother would throw water on me to make sure I get up.
Caribbean
but I'm getting up to go to church.
Caribbean parents are like that.
Yes. Didn't matter what you do. There's a story a cousin of mine reminds me of. They used to have the funky chicken and stuff like that, right? One Sunday morning, Mom's waking me up to go to church. So she says, I don't care all the funky broad off you do last night. You get up and go to church. So, yeah, she made sure she instilled those kinds of values. Have faith, and no matter what, you make sure you put God first and you're giving God his time. You do your time, but you're going to give God his time. So she made sure that I was doing that.
Now that the book is out, what is the reception you're getting from the general public?
Very good, thank you. Yes, very good. We launched the book in Canada on November the 28th. And then the book became available as of December the 2nd, I think it was. Yes. And we've had quite a few visual events since then. And we even had something for Valentine's Day. We had a program for Valentine's Day, which was nice, with some entertainment and so on. Talked about the book. Other people could relate to the story. One lady from Africa who has twins, a boy and a girl, and she moved to Canada. She got her kids up with her now, and she was talking about this is the perfect example she needed. This gives her the push to know that she will make it with those 2 little twins that she has. And she's a hairdresser, and she does everything else, you know. Yeah.
In Antigua, of course, we know how parents, our Caribbean parents, are very strong. Growing up in Antigua in the early age, the early days, things like that. How has things changed here in Antigua and Barbuda?
Well,
Your perception of what has changed?
a lot has changed. For example,
I'm talking about parenting.
Yeah.
A
a lot has changed. I mean, when we were growing up, you ate what was put before you.
Because that's all they
You
could
didn't have
afford.
a choice. You can't be saying, I'm not eating that. I want to go to Kentucky. What? Are you crazy?
But we didn't have Kentucky.
Exactly.
You couldn't go to Kentucky. So you couldn't say that. So
You had to eat what was there. I had an older brother, and one time he didn't like what was prepared for him, so he wasn't eating it. So mom tell him, oh yeah? Okay. If you don't eat it for lunch, you're going to eat it for dinner, or tomorrow you're going to eat it. He had to turn around and eat that food. I mean, parents didn't have money to waste and food to throw away. You couldn't be saying, no, I don't want that. If it's dumpling a cook, you eating the dumpling, the saltfish, that's what I cook. And that's what's provided for you. So you're going to have what's provided. These days, parents are asking the children, what is it you want to eat? Like, hello? I mean, I'm the adult here. I'm doing the shopping. This is what I have. Today is meatloaf day. That's what we're having for dinner. I mean, I'm asking you what you'd like to have. Okay. But that's parenting today.
But do you think that more discipline was instilled then than
Oh,
now?
most definitely. We got lots of blows then, too. Kids don't get no licks today. You got licks in school. You got licks at home. Your neighbor can beat you if they see you doing something wrong, complain on you, etc.
I'm
Not
one that I never
today.
believe that blows assist with discipline. I never believe in that principle, But I'm just saying, the time then and the time now, what do we teach people, children who will be mothers and fathers? What are some of the lessons that they're missing out on?
I think discipline is a big one. Yeah, I think discipline is one of the big ones. But they are thought to have faith. And they don't go to church as much as we did when we were back then, because I know we had to go to like 3 Sunday schools on Sunday. You went to Mission Sunday School, Moravian Sunday School, and then at Mr. Hill School, there used to be Mr. Crosby Sunday School in the afternoon. You had to go to that, and you better know the golden text when you got home to tell your parents what the golden text was, or you're in trouble. My brothers and them used to like to mess up and find somebody else to tell them or whatever, Gaelics and that too. Yeah.
Now, tell me about your friend, though, Ingrid.
Oh, she's a very nice lady, and again, she too is an entrepreneur, basically like her mom. She has Genie Home Services, where she provides care for senior citizens and so on, and meals for them and taking care of them and so on. Very nice lady.
You met her when you guys were going to schools in Canada? How did you meet?
No, we didn't meet back then. But we were there at the same time, migrated at the same year, everything. And our parents' stories are parallel, but we didn't meet then. We met on the job when I worked for Canada Post, and she worked for Canada Post, and that's when we met. Yeah, and became very good friends.
Okay, so tell me more about the lady.
As I said, she's a good lady. And she likes to write, and she's got a very quick mind and always full of ideas and suggestions.
No, we're looking through this, and this is your mom.
Yes.
And this is her picture story here, and I'm seeing. I'm looking for you in this one. I'm not seeing you.
I'm somewhere there in the back, I think.
You're somewhere in the back.
Yeah, I'm there somewhere in one of those pictures.
Are you ever aware who took these pictures? Were these taken in Antigua?
Yes, some of them were. Yes. Yes, some of them were taken here, and some of them were taken in Canada.
Okay. No, we look. But what is it when we look here in this book? I'm getting to this book, and again, a remarkable presence, Veronica Tully, our master of light survival. Tell me about that.
Okay, that's the temple where we worship at, Light, Love, and Truth. And she was the Queen Mother, she was made the Queen Mother as the oldest mother in the community at the time. So she became the Queen Mother, where she would pass on knowledge to everyone else, assist with the ministers, assist with the children. Yeah.
She's still alive?
My mom? No, she died.
How old was she?
Almost 93 when she died.
Because
she's like
the
two
reason why I'm
months
asking you-
away from her 93rd birthday.
I'm
Or
looking-
6 weeks away, actually.
I'm looking at it in here, and I'm seeing, of course, even as she journeys in her 90s,
Yes.
90s.
Yeah.
She was in Canada still or back home?
No, here in Antigua with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, with you?
Yes.
Okay. Queen Mother Tully was a sole personality who extended warmth, caring, compassion, and unconditional love to all whom she met. I never met her. I've never met her.
I don't
All
think
that
so.
unconditional love. If I met her, I would have been
You
aware.
would have
I would be feeling it right now. I hear
Yes.
warmth, all those adjectives that describing the young lady.
Yes.
What was it like with her though, growing up, and then she in her 90s,
Yes.
and she was living with you, so you
Yeah,
were there.
I brought her back to Antigua when she was 79. Yeah. She started getting a little confused sometimes and forgetting stuff, and I would speak with her on the phone and realize, something's not right here. So I took a trip up to visit with her and found out
Oh,
that
you
she
mean
was
so
still in Canada because
Oh.
I moved to Antigua. I lived here, and so I went up and things weren't going right. So I brought her down here, and she stayed down here with me. She didn't want to relocate back to Antigua.
No?
Of course. No, because she didn't want to give up her independency. She's a super independent woman and a go-getter. And don't stand in her way because, man, she's going ahead, full steam ahead. So she really didn't want to. So I had to really convince her that she needed to be home. So she had her 80th birthday and, I made sure it was well enjoyed for her. And we had a little party for her and stuff like that. So she journeyed here. She lived here from she was 80 until she was 6 weeks away from her 93rd birthday.
Okay, good. So here we are now. Did you chronicle some of the things that's with her, and it's in the book today?
Yes, it is.
Such as?
The life experiences she had in Canada, how she reacted, behaved, the decisions she made, the loss of my siblings, my older brother, and because it was such a shock with him, actually, when he passed and so on. And my other brother, when he passed, and I was always the one with the bad news, too.
So how many children? How many brothers and sisters?
Well, there were 6 of us. And then I had 2 siblings, 2 other family members who lived with us, made it 8. One of them was my cousin, my Aunt Martha's son, Esworth. We call him Izzy. He was younger than me because I'm the youngest of the family, but he was younger than me, so that made me feel big because I had somebody younger than me, as he was. Yeah, so there was 8 of us.
Now, when we continue with this story here, Pioneers of the Caribbean, and you see things, and you were up in Canada, and you're reflecting what's happening in our world today as black people. And we have now, of course, a female black vice president in the United States of America.
Yes.
And there's so many other black women in America that would have achieved things because we're talking about Canada and America.
Because of trailblazers like our parents. If they didn't blaze the trail for them, they wouldn't be achieving what they are today.
When you look at us in Antigua and Barbuda, who are some of the people that reminds you of your mom that would have passed away that you were associated with?
There's Fanny, there's my Aunt Olive, who are all friends of my mom. This lady who used to help to take care of us when we were kids. And she was a little lady. I wrote about her too, and she was very...
She's in the book?
Yeah.
So what you wrote about her in the book?
how she was and when we were growing up and thing. And if you get her vexed, you interfere with us or people she love, or she tell you some bad words. She don't make skylark with that. Yeah, she's a fierce woman who I just learned so much from her to be brave, you know, just like my mom.
Who are some of the other ladies that, of course, would remind you of your mom?
Angie, who also helped to raise us, because when my mom was away and me and our older siblings were away, and the 3 younger siblings were left in Antigua when mom went away. So we kind of raised ourselves until we traveled out. And Angie and Nurse Cole, Goddy Nurse across the street from us, they helped to raise us too.
What area were you living in?
Back Street, Dickerson Bay Street.
Maxon, I don't know. I don't know.
And Dickerson Bay Street. Yeah, what we call Back Street.
Yeah, very much so. The book itself, Pioneers of the Caribbean. Of course, Lady Tully is with us this afternoon. Patricia Tully, you know, what was it like at Ching Radio in Toronto?
It was a multicultural radio station where you had all the other cultures were basically represented there.
Was the Canadian radio, was the government's radio station or private?
No, it was private. Yeah.
Okay.
It was private. And you had West Indian people doing shows, you know, playing calypso and stuff like that. I used to do a program by the name of Looking Back. So I used to play old tunes and so on.
You also work as a reporter and sales director.
Yes.
For the newspaper?
Yeah, a black newspaper in Canada also.
Oh, it was a black company?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The same Ching Radio?
Contrast. No.
Okay.
No,
so those
people.
are the different places that you would have worked?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Contrast newspaper.
What was it like working on the radio there in Canada? What was the reception like for the program that you did?
It was good. It was a call-in program also. Yeah, people would call in and make some requests and so on. And
we're famous for that around the world, you know.
Yeah.
Requesting songs. As Caribbean people too.
Yes, we do that. So it was nice. Yeah, I quite enjoyed that. 2 nights a week, and yeah, it was good.
So now that the book is here, again, tell the people how they can get part of the book. They can get part of your book and some of the other things that you'd like to let us know. Please free to tell us that now.
Okay, the book is available on Amazon, iTunes, ebook. It's available at Best of Books. It also will be available shortly with the Adventist Bookstore. And it's available through the company that publish it. They call Friesen Press. So you can just go on the net and they'll come up and so on. And any company or any group that buys 50 copies or more coming directly from the publishers, they will get a 20% discount, 20% of the profits back to them.
Okay.
We do have coming up for Mother's Day, we're having a virtual event for Mother's Day, which is on May the 8th, starting 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And the first 25 persons that purchase their tickets, they will be getting a free copy of the paperback book.
We have lots of entertainment. You have a virtual what? Tell me this. On
Mother's Day. Yeah, which is the Saturday night, May the 8th. Yeah, starting like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We have lots of prizes, lots of entertainment.
And folks, this is all virtual?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And folks, the event has already been planned.
Yes.
And if we
have
want
the
to be part
flyer
of it,
coming out soon.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So the entertainment we have is performances by Darrell Williams on the steel pan. He's from Antigua. The smooth singing voice of Michael Dunstan. The powerful vocals of Lorena Davis. And we have some people from Black Women's Congress that will be making contributions also, guest speakers. We have DJ Wayne Brotherton. And we'll be selecting 2 mothers to honor, one here in Antigua and, of course, one in Canada.
So this is a twinship. The things that you're doing here, it's virtual. It'll be in Canada, all over. Folks will be able to to see what's going on.
Yes,
Okay.
and here in Antigua. Yes, definitely. And we will be having raffle tickets, and we have a lot of giveaways. We have a basket donated by Petrola Mortgage Company. We have jerk dinners in Fort Erie, Caribbean Takeout Restaurant. Decorated cake by Doreen. And we have a spa breakfast, a spa day. We have lunch for two at the Hermitage Bay, a gift voucher from Cool and Smooth. Lots of entertainment and lots of raffles and giveaways. And there'll be some readings from the book also.
Okay.
And the spoken word by Uchi from Nigeria.
Oh, wow. That's a combination.
Yeah.
And the date for that one again will be?
That will be May the 8th, 2021, starting at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And the first 25 tickets sold, they're going to get a copy of the book.
So when we go online now for this book, what's the price of the book online?
I think on Amazon it's like 28 US, I think it is. And through the publisher it's like 25.
Oh, it's a discount if you go through the publisher.
Yes.
And did you say something if you're buying a group?
Yes, if a group decides to buy 50 copies or more. Yes. And that will go through the publishers, and then they'll get a 20% discount.
Yeah, so wait, when you buy the book, you get this?
No.
No,
No, that's just a little something on the side.
No, I just wanted to know if, this is the perk for buying the book, looking at your beautiful mom. We take
there are lovely pictures of her in the book at the back, they'll see.
We take a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Growing number of companies exporting to Europe's 500 million consumers using the CARIFORUM EU Economic Partnership Agreement. The Caribbean Export Development Agency and the European Union have already supported over 6,000 businesses, creating more jobs for you and me. Now that's cooperation that counts. Export and grow with the CARIFORUM EU EPA. Visit our website at carib-export.com.
It's March Madness, of course, Mass Madness at Idea Media. They're giving you mad, crazy, insane savings from 5%, 20% up to 40% off when you print your flyers, label, brochures, funeral programs, business cards, and so much more. Come into our office at Herbert's Main Road. It's Mass Madness and time to save big on all your printing needs. Give us a call at 562-8610, 562-8611, or email office at ideamediaanu.com. We're ready.
Hey Barry, can't stop to talk. Rush into the bank.
You're going to the bank, as in inside the bank?
Barry, how else am I going to get my banking done?
Simple. Bank with the Eastern Caribbean Amalgamated Bank. I do most of my banking with the ECAB More Banking online and mobile app.
How does that work?
It's so easy, Cindy. I pay my APOA bills and the kids' school fees with the app's Merchant Pay feature. I transfer money to my wife's account using Buddy Pay, and I use the electronic funds transfer to pay my other bills and insurance premiums and send money to my family across the Caribbean. I also send money to my mom in England using the wire transfer feature.
Wow. What about deposits and cash transactions?
Well, I do my regular deposits at the ATM and the business deposits at the night deposit facility. And I use my ECAB debit or credit card for all my purchases.
ECAB really puts the convenience in convenience banking.
Yes, Cindy. Think outside the bank with the Eastern Caribbean Amalgamated Bank. Our future, our bank.
Well, I know that, of course, Kyle, quickened the draw over there, but we got to give him another one since that you brought in some commercials on us. Again, it's Mass Match Madness at Idea Media, giving you mad, crazy, insane savings. 5, 20, 40% off when you print your flyers, labels, brochures, funeral programs, business cards, and so much more. Come into our office at Herbert's Main Road. Give us a call. You have plenty to save. Give us a call at 562-8610, 562-8611, or email office at ideamediaanuab.com. We're really good at what we do.
Stay locked to Observer Radio 91.1 FM for the 11:45 a.m. news broadcast sponsored by North Coast Hardware.
The Movement, every Tuesday from 7 p.m. until 8:30 p.m. only on Observer Radio 91.1 FM.
passages, every life story deserves to be remembered. When you lose a loved one, it is often difficult to inform relatives and friends of their passing. The Daily Observer is offering you a means of notifying your family and friends, home and abroad, about the loss of your loved ones. Advertise your obituaries with us, from death acknowledgements, memorial services, and remembrances to death anniversaries. Contact us at 462-3911 to make your booking.
This is Observer Radio.
Stay locked to Connecting with Dave Lester Payne, right here on Observer Radio 91.1 FM.
Writing a book is not easy, but it can be a lot easier if you know the subject matter that you're speaking of, and you don't have to invent anything. And this one, you two ladies were speaking about your mom and the journey that they made in life, and of course from the Caribbean to Canada. Some excerpts in the book, if you could read some for us today.
Yes. December the 5th, 1982 was a Sunday, and after Mom and I had dinner and relaxed a bit, we discussed the things we were going to get done that week. As Brother Pat, that's my older brother, had requested in his last letter that we had just received. I then went to lie down and got some rest before going to work for 11 p.m. that night. I had a dream during my sleep and saw Pat lying on a slab. He was pointing at me and trying to say something to me. I got up and started preparing myself for work. The phone rang, and when I picked it up, it was my friend Maggie, and I remember sharing my weird dream with her. Mom was now already in her room and in bed. I put the dream down to getting the things done for Pat as requested. My shift ended at 7 a.m., and I would usually go right home. However, that morning, I had made arrangements to see a friend, Keith Shepard, whom we call 50, and then went home, and by that time, Mom would have already been downtown at work. There was a note stuck in my door that said, "I am a priest, and I need to speak with you urgently. Please call this number. It is imperative." I called the number, but he would not tell me what he needed. Instead, he said he would come back and talk with me. I led him in the door, and he announced that he had sad news. He reported to me that my brother Patrick had died the night before in the Dominican Republic. Well, I almost had a heart attack. I screamed, no, it cannot be. They probably have the wrong person. After the priest left, a police officer arrived bearing the same news. I then got a phone call from the Parliament building in Ottawa giving me the news and confirming Pat's passport number. After I was able to calm myself and think, I realized I now had to go and get Mom from her job. I picked up the telephone and called my brother Walton, who's now Mohammed, who lived not too far away from where we lived. So he drove over. We hugged and cried and then decided we would go get Mom. He did the driving. When we arrived at Mom's job, she was on lunch and had left the building for an errand. We were both terrified about how we would break this news to her. It was the worst thing we both ever had to do. Mom finally got back from her lunch break, and there we were. Instinctively, she knew something was not right. She said she had just come from the bank, where she had wired some money to Pat as he had requested. We tried to get her to sit down, but she would not sit down. She asked what was happening, and after a while, Mohammed said, "Mom, we have bad news. We got a report that Pat died." She looked directly at me and asked, "Which Pat? Your Pat?" You see, at that time, I was dating a man called Patrick also, and he was in Trinidad, his birth country at the time. Mohammed and I looked at each other, and at the same moment, we looked at Mom and we said, "No, Mom, our Pat." She immediately became limp and was about to fall when we held on to her. We left her workplace and went home. I contacted our family doctor, who came by in the evening and gave us a prescription for sedative for her. This was shocking news to our family. He was still young, only 44 years old. I called my other 3 siblings and told them the bad news. Joan and the other relatives in England, Loy and Clayton in Miami, and all our family members here in Canada and the States and in Antigua. Family care and support. Okay, we'll go to another page.
Before we move on, this is Patrick.
That's right.
That's a picture
yes,
of Patrick.
yes, that's her firstborn, my older
What was
brother.
he doing? What was he doing? Was he working down there?
No, he was finishing up his PhD. He to get his to be a doctor because he had planned after that he was going to move back to Antigua.
So he was studying.
Yeah,
in the Dominican Republic.
Republic at the university there. There's an American university there.
Now, how did he die?
He was asthmatic, and he actually had an asthma attack and then got over-medicated, and that resulted in a heart attack, and that's what he died from.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Because Curious Minds, he died, you know. So we can go to another excerpts in the book.
Yes.
That one is dramatic. But let me pose this question to you.
You dreamt another one.
You dreamt that you saw him on the slab.
Yeah, I dreamt the whole thing. But I didn't know what was happening.
Obviously not. But it's amazing that you told someone about the dream.
Yes. And she's one of the first person I called to say, hey, guess what? You know, my brother died. She said, what? I said, yeah. She said, wait, isn't that what you dreamt last night? I said, yeah.
Life, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, my condolences anyway. I know it's been a while, but you still have to feel the tug of a pain.
Oh, yes.
You know, family connected like that. And someone, you know.
And, yeah, it was horrible for all of us.
Yeah, so we move on to another chapter.
Okay, I'll give you something. Let's go here.
Again, folks, you can get copies of the book. It's available.
Okay, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
When we were growing up, Granny did not have to discipline us by beating us. If we were misbehaving, she would give us that particular look with her eyes alone, and we knew to straighten up right away.
That's what I told you before.
That's right.
Licks is not always discipline now. Go ahead.
Yeah. Essie was very stubborn.
What was her name?
My grandmother?
Yeah.
Louisa. I'm named after her.
No, you just said Essie. Who is Essie?
Essie is my cousin.
Essie. Oh,
Essie.
okay. I'm paying attention. Go ahead.
He's my cousin, but grew up like my brother.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was always very stubborn, and him and the boys will always get into trouble. Then Granny would hold him by his ear and pull on it, telling him he was too hardened, and that huna here I go feel.
Yep.
Meaning he did not listen, and he would feel the consequences of not listening and doing as he was told. She taught us not to trouble things that didn't belong to us, and not to lend or borrow people's things. Make do with what you have till you can do better. Granny and Mom taught us to be loving and kind with each other and everyone else. Whenever we had disagreements and fights, we had to hug and kiss and make up.
Charlie used to fight among each other.
Yeah, you know how it is with siblings. This is mine. Why you take that? My brothers them used to steal my food.
Your food?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I ate too slow, and I would leave my meat for last. So they would grab my meat or distract me, make me turn my head or something, grab my food from me.
Okay.
Yeah, they did stuff like that. Okay, so some more about Granny. I didn't have oh, okay, sorry. Let me go back here. My granny could balance a bucket or a basket on her head. First, she would put on her kata, which is like her head tie. She loved those things and hats and stuff. Then she would put a bucket of water from the standpipe on her head and in each hand and walk with it. She had the nicest skin and smile and hands, and I loved being in her lap and hiding from my brothers behind her, wrapped in her big skirt. I used to love to play with her hair. It was long and very soft and wavy and with a nice kind of curl. Granny had a cat, and he knew how to find Granny. When we were coming home, he would come up to the top of Back Street by Deanery and meet us.
The cat?
The cat. Oh, yeah, they were very smart cats. They smell you, they know how to find you. I recall the day when my Uncle Theodore Finch and my Aunt Dada, which is his wife, visited when Granny was sick. She said to him and Daddy that Mama no look good, she going. About my grandmother, I left the house with them and we went down the road to my dad's house. We had just gotten there when Clayton came running, breathing hard and said, Mommy said to come now 'cause Granny gone. I didn't love my aunt too much after that, since she had caused my grandmother to die.
But she didn't cause your grandmother to die.
Yeah, you're 7 years old. Come on, you know, you don't know no better.
Yeah.
You know? I was not 8 years old at the time, and I didn't quite get it. I just did not understand how and why I did not expect Granny to go anywhere and leave me. I thought she just didn't feel good and that she would soon be better. When we got back to the house, my siblings and my Aunt Martha were there, and everyone was crying, plenty bawling and hollering, particularly by my mom. And I remember neighbors and people just coming to the house and coming and going. Back then, most of the dead were laid out in their homes until the funeral. The undertaker, Mr. Straffy from Fort Road, came to our home to embalm Granny's body. However, for me, he did stuff to her body that I did not understand. And I was being disobedient and was peeping by pulling the curtain at the bedroom window when she was laid out in the living room. I was supposed to be in bed sleeping, but I could not sleep. And I thought he was hurting her. Mommy and Daddy finally explained to me that Granny was no more, she didn't feel anything, and that she had gone to heaven in the skies. They did allow me to comb her hair, stroking it with my hands for the last time. Her cat went and lay on her belly as she laid out in the living room. Afterwards, he used to moan all the time.
The cat?
The cat, yeah. At the funeral, Granny's lodge women were all present and all our family, and then we went to the graveside. This was devastating for me, especially when they put her in the hole, and Mommy started to wail and bawl and trying to go into the hole too. There I was hanging on to Mom's skirt because I wanted to go into the hole with her too as well. Mom was not leaving me too. This was very bad, and I just knew it wasn't a good thing. Then Brother Pat and Daddy and Aunt Jean and Goddy Nurse and everybody started holding on to Mom, pulling her up and back from the dark, deep hole where Granny's box went down.
Oh, wow. Yeah. 7 years old.
Yeah.
And then tell them how they can get your book again.
It can be had at Amazon, iTunes, ebook, Best of Books right here in Antigua.
Lady Barbara down there.
Barbara Arundel, that's right. And soon it will be available soon at the Seventh-day Adventist bookstore.
The name of the book?
Pioneers of the Caribbean.
Pioneers of the Caribbean. No, this doesn't come with the book, right?
No.
This doesn't come with the book. That's just a picture of your mom. And
Yes.
Again, Miss Tully, I want to say congratulations again on your book. Before you go, you want to read another excerpt? This time from...
Okay, something from the final curtain, maybe? Okay. Let's just do one of the poems, actually, that was done by Ushi. Or a tribute, actually. This is my brother, Muhammad. Put all dogmas, religion, and otherwise, be it Judaism doctrine, Christianity doctrine, or Islamic doctrine, and all the other philosophical teachings regarding parents, particularly mothers. In life, there is an indisputable fact, a reality in every sense of the word and throughout human history, which will very well continue until the end of human species, is a woman who becomes a mother. Allow me to clarify what I mean by mother. A woman who is pregnant carries the unborn child. Though all the stages of gestation, healthfully and otherwise, more often with many difficulties, and eventually, though always painful, gives birth to a child, be it male or female. You listen to the joyous exclamation of both mother and child and those who witness the birth. This is the first stage through which though very paramount to being a mother. A woman who gives birth sometimes by choice, other times because of vicious circumstances, choose to outsource the early development of raising of the child. Allah and history will judge that choice. However, most other women will elect, as difficult as it is, to raise the child to maturity and beyond. The endeavor requires most of all love and compassion, to care, to nurture, to provide, and to protect. These actions create an unbreakable bond between the giver and the child. That is the definition of a mother. A mother doesn't necessarily have to give birth to gain the distinction of qualifying of being a mother. A woman of love and compassion, as shown over and over again throughout humanity history, who devoted herself to the raising and development of a child or children to maturity. It is qualified mother. She enjoys the rank of motherhood. I am also blessed to have loved women who not only gave me birth, but who stuck around regardless of the difficulties to raise me up from a state of helplessness to maturity to manhood.
That's the time we got there. That's the time they want to read more. They got to buy the book.
The
name of the book?
Pioneers of the Caribbean.
Pioneers of the Caribbean. Lady Tully, thanks a lot for being with us this afternoon. Here's hoping the folks will go on out and get the book. Is there a number they can call you just in case they need more information pertaining to the book?
Yes, 728-6359.
There we have it. The lady that's decided she's going to write about her mother, Patricia Tully. You know her well right here in Antigua and Barbuda. That's a wrap for us today on Connecting with Dave Lester Payne. Stay tuned for Evolution Drive Time. Stay blessed. Stay safe.
Blessings to everyone. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
You've been listening to Connecting with Dave Lester Payne on Observer Radio 91.1 FM.
This is Observer